I'm very concerned about our youth being distracted at a time their very lives could be at stake. My name is REX2019, and I have a simple message for the youth of Nigeria. It is time to stop letting things happen to you. It's time to take charge and influence the outcome that will be your future. Your very life may depend on it. Why do I say this? Because if the youth do not take action now, the vast majority of us Nigerians will be either dead, become refugees, or be suffering under the rule of warlords, militias, or area gangs in the very near future. Why is this? Because that's the logical conclusion of three dangerous developments facing us today. The first is the current hostilities in the polity and the politics that are currently drifting towards a full-scale war. A low-grade war is currently going on in the country already. In the middle of the country, the nation isn't focused on, nor is it being widely or accurately reported. Number two, we have building tensions from unplanned population explosion from the current demographic growth of the youth. And these challenges could very explode in scale from that we're experiencing currently. Three, the expanding prevalence of poverty in the land. Any one or all three combined would very likely end in full-scale war or general social unrest. The youth do not pay attention now to step up for once to save ourselves and our future and make a transformative break from the past. We have the most to lose. We're the youngest, we're going to live through this for the longest time. The good news is two things though. It's actually simple to do this. We simply need to give the same level of attention as we give to Big Brother Nigeria, to that big problem that is Nigeria, to permit us to effectively mobilize and organize for the salvation of our country and the future of each of us. The first thing we need to do is to gather our numbers on one platform to show firstly to ourselves and to others our strength in numbers and the force for change that we actually are. You don't need to do more at this stage until we all together decide otherwise. Once we amass our numbers, we can jointly decide how and where we deploy such power. Participating in the game is as easy as voting on Big Brother. But then again, this is not a show, this is our reality. The next task, after we can get the youth to unite on a common platform, is to outline and agree on a set of objectives to unite and mobilize around achieving. I have come up with and proposed the following 11. Security. We need to triple the pay of policemen and also triple their number. Paying policemen 50,000 naira a month honestly makes no sense. With major retraining and the recruitment of qualified, educated, unemployed youths, we should make being a police officer, like we should also make being a teacher, super attractive. This should be pursued together, obviously, with the state police and the National Guard system to be established under the federal government. The federal government should then focus on funding a first-class police academy for the minimum standards to produce quality police officers nationwide. The focus should be to make our nation one of the safest in the world. This will promote investment, commerce, and tourism. And in general, this will permit nighttime economies, which will triple employment to flourish across the nation, boosting employment and the government's tax base to do more. We're severely under-policed as a nation, and the level of insecurity we permit ourselves to live with makes no sense. We also need to use technology that is currently available. I see no reason why drones cannot be adapted for safe urban and rural policing. This would boost rapid response to emergencies and track criminal elements to the very end. Also integral to providing security nationwide is the need to ensure that our judicial system works for all and that its enforcement mechanism, the police, is potently effective and impartial, particularly at the retail level in local communities, such that they provide a satisfactory platform for the average person on the street or whole communities to seek justice and redress for perceived injustice without having to resort to self-help. And of course, You cannot sustainably address security without addressing the economy, specifically mass unemployment. On the economy, I think the key objective on the economy should be on measures to boost low interest credit to small and medium-sized businesses and businesses in general. And for this, a key part would also be to remove the government from competing with businesses for credit, rather than serving as a catalyst for growth. In addition, I think we need to establish a special court system that would fast-track the enforcement that banks can rely on for defaulting debtors. This would encourage them to keep further lending. Secondly, we need to change and effect federal allocations through dollar receipt accounting. What do I mean by this? Currently, what happens is when we sell oil, the dollar is kept by the central bank and it then prints the equivalent in Naira and distributes it to the states. What I propose, which others have done, is that we do dollar receipt accounting. That way the states now have to take those dollars in their account and buy Naira and boost the value of the Naira. Currently, this creates a perverse incentive for the government to corruptly steal from all of us. Because what the government now does is every time they have a shortfall, they simply depreciate the Naira in order to meet their own salary and other obligation shortfalls. Fourthly, we need to radically increase investments in agriculture. We have, I think, a competitive advantage in this regard, and we are still underperforming as far as that in that respect. We also need to boost investment in mineral resources and actually continue support for the Dangote refinery, which will be actually transformative for our economy. Fifth, I think there should be certain further power reform. At this point, I think there should be cost-effective solar power systems for residential and small business use, while we allow the big utility, the GenCos, to focus on industrial customers, and that would help boost mass employment. Speaking of transformative projects, Nigeria needs to immediately adopt and as soon as possible pursue the desert to energy initiatives such as Desert Tech, whereby we cover the entire Sahara Desert with solar panels for power generation and have the North earn as much foreign exchange as the Niger Delta for the country. Such singular initiative, which is low-tech and very labor-intensive, when properly done, has the capacity to singularly solve the youth unemployment crisis in the North and transform the economy of the North and the nation, and also solve various social and environmental problems, including the farmers and herdsmen conflicts that result from environmental factors. A video and other materials of such a transformative initiative are accessible on the website REX2019.com. So please enlighten yourself and see what's possible, the associated challenges, and how we can readily overcome such. And six, we need to do all the small things as well. We need to pass a law that prohibits and penalizes employers that owe their employees for more than 1 month, yet continue to pay themselves.